If we just click yes here, we can jump into it. We know human resources, unfortunately. Toby. Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of the UserOrg YouTube series. My name is Darren and I'm the CEO and founder of UserOrg. So for those of you that haven't seen our introduction video, there's a link below and I recommend you go and check that out. It gives kind of more of an overview about the platform and what we're trying to achieve with UserOrg and how we help people build better workplaces with them and their organizations. But today I thought I'd jump in and give you a bit more of a deep dive into our coworker review feature, which is of course a pivotal part of providing feedback on your organization. So I'll just go ahead and launch the application. Okay, so once again we're in my personal profile. So as you can see up here, we won't go into any of the other details today. We'll do some subsequent videos on that, but today I just want to discuss the just the coworker review part of the platform. So obviously, like I said before, super important. One of the main things that you'll be doing at this point to provide feedback to your coworkers, teams, departments that you're working with, project groups, anything like that. So of course, it's very important. If you're working in an organization of any size, you're going to be working with other people. You're going to be combining into different groups at different stages, whether that's formal teams, whether that's informal project groups that come together and break apart as required. Yeah, so let's just jump straight in and have a look at some of the features. But before that, obviously this is our actual UserOrg organization. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to a bit of a test one that we created. Not CornHub, we won't do that again. This is one where it's actually our tutorial. So when people come in for the first time, when they log on, they're presented with an option of either going into the tutorial or going on to their actual organization. So for those of you that are familiar with the Office, this is a bit of a mock-up of the Office. You'll get to meet all your favorite characters and actually go and review them. Just going to jump in here. And you can see this is my profile now switched over. So obviously most people won't be able to do this, but of course UserOrg employees, most of them are admin users. So UserOrg employees, obviously some of us are admin users, and we can jump between organizations to help you guys set up and test problems and things like that, anything that's occurring. So just going to jump straight into the coworker section. As you can see here, it's a bit of a visualization there to show that we've got two things that we can do today. The platform tries to guide you in what steps to do and things like that. So we try to make it as intuitive as possible to help you guys out in understanding what the platform is supposed to be doing. So I'm just going to jump straight in here. So basically, main concept of these user reviews is that you're presented with randomized subjects to review. So that keeps people from kind of gaming the system and stuff like that. And we've got a bunch of algorithms in the back that stop people from purposely targeting individuals for negative or positive reviews. So essentially, we try to normalize the experience for you guys so that everyone gets a fair share. So basically, asks you whether you know the subject. So Angela, for all those of you who are familiar with the Office, you'll know Angela from accounting. So if you know the person, click yes. If you don't know them, click no because you don't have any valid feedback on them. For the purposes of this, we're just going to click yes. We know her. So there's basically two activities right now on the coworker review side, and we're going to be adding more in the future. But for now, we've got keywords, which is the one you can see here, and a slider one, which we'll get to in a minute. So basically, you're presented with 5 random keywords that denote something different about the person. Basically, you just need to pick whichever one is most applicable. And if it's not applicable, then just hit refresh, and you'll be presented with another subject. So what are we going to do here? We're going to say, what is Angela? She's kind of like Darth Vader. So let's hit Darth Vader here. And that should jump to the next one. So Stanley from sales. Yes, we know Stanley. Stanley is we won't go quite with useless, but let's go with stale. You know, he's a bit of a he's a bit of a stale character sometimes. Let's hit that. So behind each of those keywords is a different aspect and a modifier for it. So if you're saying someone's stale, you know, they're probably not the best leader, they're probably not the best motivator, they're probably not the best at communicating, but they're probably alright in various aspects of their life. You know, not everyone is going to be a star every time, so it's perfectly valid to give people a stale response. So as you can see here, it kind of jumps to the next thing, and you would have seen there's some experience that pops up here. We'll have a look next time. This one being presented here is basically us reviewing a department, so human resources. If we just click yes here, we can jump into it. We know human resources, unfortunately. Toby. people from human resources often spontaneously. So this is an example of our slider activity. So it's basically agree, disagree, based on the question that's being asked, and it's usually presented in sets of 5. People from human resources often spontaneously talk about new ideas that they've heard. Now we've got to think, are human resources doing that in the office in Dunder Mifflin? Maybe a little bit. So we won't go through every question in detail. You guys can go through and read that yourself. Human resources benefit the organization as a whole? Nah, probably not. Seem to have information that they need to do their jobs. Yeah, Toby's pretty good at collecting stuff. Someone from human resources is often the de facto leader. Nah, sitting in the back. You can click previous to go back. So you can see here, it doesn't have to be disagree 100%. Some people do have some leadership dynamics within multi-department meetings. So they're kind of only 40% of the way there. So obviously this is slightly negative for them. If they were outstanding leading all these multi-department meetings, then we'd be pushing them up here. So it's pretty straightforward. When you click on it, it just moves to the next one, and you can always go backwards. Times of stress, are they yelling? I think, they're pretty stable. So as you can see here, it's just really quick, just giving a little bit of ad hoc feedback about people. And the premise is that a little bit every day sort of builds up and makes a real organic picture of what this person is like, or what this team or what this department is like. So when you're done, you just hit submit, and then it goes away and commits that. And then again, we're just presented with another option. So as you can see here, we're going into Pam. So there's a few crazy ones. There's some ones that are obviously a bit more straightforward, and then there's just some other character type ones. It's really just supposed to represent what these people are like day to day in their interactions. So feel free to just put whatever seems right. Let's go with Jim Carrey. She's a bit of a funny character, right? All right, so I think I'm gonna leave it there for you guys. That's basically a bit of a deep dive into our coworker reviews. As I mentioned before in the intro video, you can go in here and click on your performance, and you can see how all that feedback is basically being grouped up for you. We're going to do a whole nother video on a deep dive onto each of these aspects and really give you guys a good idea about what each of them mean. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it at that for now, and if you guys have any questions, just feel free to reach out, leave a comment or like below, and we'll reach out to you. Other than that, have a good day, have a good night wherever you are. Thanks, I'm Darren, and thank you for watching our deep dive into the coworker review section of the UserOrg platform, building better workplaces together.